This is HUR Voices on SiriusXM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton.
Welcome to the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM Channel 141. This is your host Carl Brown, and I'm in the studio with my co-host
Sharrarne Morton
there
of
you
MortonMediaTV.com. Your sidekick.
There you go.
Right?
For many, many years.
Many years. Yeah.
So look, we got an exciting show today. I'm gonna tell you, things work out. Things really work out.
Yeah. And you know what? I gotta talk to you offline about what happened behind the scenes.
Oh, okay. So y'all won't get all that info, but just to say we got a special guest for y'all on the second half.
Well, both of our guests are
both
special.
Of them. I'm not going to take anything from Gerri because she going to be talking about money.
Right.
Hey,
that's
what everybody want to talk about.
That's right.
So,
Gerri Deitweiler, right?
That's right. From NAV.
She's the director, education director.
Which is
NAV.com.
And you can go on NAV.com and start learning about how to get some of that money. So, but in the interim, and on the second half of the show, I'm going to let you talk about our guests.
Yeah, we have the famous, I call him legendary, actor and comedian Bill Bellamy, who's going to talk about how being a celebrity is running your own business.
That's right.
It's you're branding yourself. It is your business.
It is your business.
We've had celebrities on the show before, and they say the same thing. So
that's right. And anybody that wants to get into show business, and a lot of people do, this is an opportunity for them to learn from someone that has over 20 films.
Yes.
Been on
TV,
sitcoms,
dozens of
and
everything. He's been in the business.
Tom joined the morning show.
Def Comedy Jam, everything.
Def Comedy Jam, everything.
Yeah, 30 years in the business. And it is show business. It's a business.
Yeah, absolutely. But, and when we get him, I want to ask him, how studying economics at Rutgers University,
my alma mater,
landed him. We ain't gonna hold that against y'all, but landed him on Def Comedy Jam.
Yes, and I know the story, but okay, we're gonna do that.
But our audience doesn't know.
Right. So we're gonna come right back. Oh, don't forget to check out Carl, the DC Small Business Development Center,
SBDC.org. Check us out,
or anywhere in the country at America's
SBDC.org, and we got workshops, one-on-one counseling. All our services are free, so we need you as our clients to come in.
Yeah, if you
give us a call, 202-806-1550, 202-806-1550.
That's all of you who are thinking about starting a business or you already have a business. Check them out. We'll be right back after these messages here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM, Channel 141, HUR Voices.
SiriusXM Fly.
The channel taking you back
to a time
when everything
was big.
SiriusXM Fly.
Your source for hip hop and R&B from the 90s and 2000s. SiriusXM Fly.
Channel 47.
And streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Small Business Report listeners, we know that inventory, payroll, and doing 100 other things is an average day when you own a small business. That's why Kabbage created a simple way for businesses to access up to $250,000 of credit.
So many businesses come into my center and complain about the lengthy paperwork process and long delays in getting a bank loan. Kabbage's application process is online, takes minutes to complete and get a decision. Kabbage has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and has provided over 200,000 small businesses with access to capital.
Get the money you need to run your small business today. Go to Kabbage.com and use code NOW to get a $100 credit on your first loan. That's KABBAGE.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must take a minimum $5,000 loan to qualify. Credit line subject to review and change. Individual requests for capital or separate installment loans issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC.
This is HUR Voices on SiriusXM Radio Channel 141 with your host hosts, Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton.
Welcome back to the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM Channel 141, WHUR Voices. And as we promised you earlier, we're going to be talking to Gerri Dietweiler from NAV. And you can go to her website, nav.com, to learn about how you can improve your credit score and get some money.
Yeah.
So,
what does NAV stand for, by the way, Gerri? NAV.
Well, everyone thinks it's an acronym. It's actually not.
Oh.
We were just able to find a 3-letter domain name, but we like to think about it as navigating your business and navigating the crazy world of small business financing, which can be pretty overwhelming.
Oh,
yes,
my gosh,
can
it? That's an understatement, yes.
And I love it. I knew it didn't mean anything, but, Sharrarne kept asking me, well, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means what it is.
Yeah.
NAV. So, but hey, Gerri, most businesses don't know that business credit reports and scores exist. So who creates these reports and what are the benefits of building business credit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been in the credit world for, a few decades now. My very first book was the first mass market book that talked about FICO scores. So, 2 decades ago, when I was living and working in the D.C. area, I would do workshops and ask people, have you seen your FICO score? And they'd give me this blank look like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
So now, of course, we have so many places we can monitor and check our personal credit scores. But business owners don't know about these business credit reports. And one of the business credit reporting agencies, Dun & Bradstreet, actually employed 4 U.S. presidents, including Abraham Lincoln. So they have been around a long time collecting information about our businesses, selling that information, and as small business owners, we need to be aware of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
They call me all the time. I don't know why. They'll be like, oh, we're just calling to see if, you want to update your information. I always think that maybe they're telemarketers. I'm not really certain if they're, when they say they're Dun & Bradstreet, although I know who D&B is, I was just wondering about that. But I also wanted to know, what's the difference between FICO scores and the other scores, TransUnion and the other scores? A lot of people want to know that.
Well, on the personal credit side, there's 2 major companies that create personal credit report scores. And by the way, I think both are important for small business. So research by the Federal Reserve shows that business owners, about a little over half, use a combination of business and personal credit to get financing or just business credit.
Right.
So you got to keep your eye on both, right? You can't ignore one or the other. But on the personal credit side, you have FICO, and most people have heard of FICO. They're the biggest by far. And then Vantage Score, which is a score you may see if you're checking your credit report online for free, because it's owned by the 3 bureaus. So Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion created that specifically as an alternative to FICO scores. So they are also in the industry. But on the business credit side, each individual bureau, for the most part, has their own score. So D&B, you might have heard of Paydex, and they actually have a variety of different scores, not just Paydex. On the Experian has something called IntelliScore for small business. And then Equifax has a variety of different scores, including delinquency risk score. But there is a FICO score that's just for small business. It's called the FICO SBSS score. And that score is used primarily by banks and traditional financial institutions. So if you want to get an SBA loan, and if your loan amount is $350,000 or less, which a lot of them are, they will actually have to, the first thing the lender has to do is screen your application using this FICO score, and it takes into account the personal credit of the business owners, and you could have multiple business owners as long as you own 20% of the business, you're included, and then the business credit of the business, and it analyzes both sets of data to come up with this score. So that's another one that I think most business owners have no clue exists behind the scenes.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Gerri. I'm gonna tell you this. I tell people all the time, you need to, as painful as it may seem sometimes, you need to check all of your credit scores because
they're different sometimes.
Yeah. But here's the incident that I had. Went to go buy a car, and the guy laughed at me and said, "Oh, to get this car, you would have to put $6,500 down because of your credit report." And he wouldn't show it to me. So I had to go home and get
Right,
one and all that craziness. This was back in the 80s, right? So I get the report, and it's like 8 pages of madness.
Wow, what do you mean madness? It's
I'm
not your
talking
stuff?
about, wasn't my stuff.
Oh,
it
wow.
was bankruptcies from the 60s.
Somebody had stolen or
and
used
70s
your information, right?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Okay.
But it took me about 3 to 4 months to get all of that wiped off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So what would you tell somebody that experiences that, Gerri?
Yeah, Carl, in your case, I'm guessing it's because you have a pretty common name. So
I'm so glad I don't.
I'm just guessing someone else's information got mixed up. My husband, his father named 4 of his 5 sons. Well, he had 4 sons. 4 of the sons with a version of his name in it. So,
wow.
Well, George Foreman, I think, named 3 or 4 of his kids George.
Foreman,
George Foreman, yeah.
First, second, and third.
Exactly. So he's had mix-up with his siblings on their credit reports. But you bring up a really great point, which is why it's so important to monitor your credit, because, mistakes happen. And if you don't catch it, a decision could be made based on information that you don't even know exists. I had it happen to me. My mortgage company reported me late 6 times. I wasn't late. I got it straightened out. Mine was also, I found out about it when I was going to get an auto loan. And then 4 years later, it pops up again on my credit. So the one great thing now is that you have so many sources to monitor your credit. So I suggest you make sure you're monitoring it from each of the 3 major consumer bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They don't share information with each other. I've written an article, 150 places you can get your credit scores for free. So
150, that's great.
We could share a link to that so there's no excuse. And then on the business credit side, the reason NAV started 7 years ago was because we were the first place to bring free credit report information on the business side to business owners.
Okay,
There's no law around business credit like there are around consumer credit. There's no annualcreditreport.com for business credit. And so that's the first step for us to educate a small business owner, is to show them their business credit data for free. And we're pleased now we have Equifax, Experian, and Dun & Bradstreet on board, so an individual can sign up for a free account with us and look at their business credit, or if they don't have business credit, monitor it. Learn how to build it.
So they can go to N as in Nancy, AV as in Victor.com, nav.com to sign up for this free account and look at their credit report for free, their business credit report for free?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
and
wonderful.
If they want to just throw a /podcast at the end, if you go to that page, nav.com/podcast, there's a free downloadable that's a business credit building checklist. So we find a lot of business owners really don't know how to build business credit. They don't have much experience with it. So I've made it super simple in a worksheet they can download there, right from the page, and they can get started learning how to build their business credit.
That's great. I had a question about the Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian agencies. Why are the numbers different? Your score is different on each one. Sometimes as much as 10 or 15 points. Why is that?
Yes, that's a great question. So typically it's because, sometimes it could be because they have slightly different information. But these days on the consumer side, that's not that common. Usually if you get a credit card or a car loan, it reports to all 3 every single month.
Yeah.
So what it is they're using a different credit score to show to you. I don't know if you know, there are over 40 different versions just of FICO scores.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's
confusing.
That's so confusing.
That's why I'm so glad you're on the radio with us.
Yeah. And how does that, what should small business owners do? And where should they go besides nav.com, of course? If they're looking to go to FICO, SBSS, and, get some information on their credit report, are they going to just see that one version of their credit report, or are there other versions out there?
The report should be the same. So the information in the report should be the same. It's the score that varies depending on the scoring model that's being used. So I'll give you a quick example. We've all had this experience. You're monitoring your credit score online. Maybe your credit card company gives you a free credit score. Some of them do, right? Mm-hmm. And so you see a number, and then you go into the auto dealer, and they pull your credit. It's a different number.
Right.
The data, that the credit report is the same. But the score that you're looking at through your credit card issuer is used to predict whether you're going to pay your credit card on time. The one the auto lender is using is used to predict whether you're going to pay an auto loan on time. So it's a little bit different calculation.
Okay.
So you can see different numbers. So here's what I tell individuals, because I know this gets really frustrating and overwhelming, because they ask me all the time, what's my real credit score? And I tell them, hey, the real credit score is the one the lender uses. That may or may not be the one you're looking at. So what are you focused on? You look at, hey, what am I doing? Every time you get your credit score online or whatever service you use, they're going to give you the factors, the main factors that are impacting your score. And you look at those and say, hey, is there room for improvement? For example, if it says your balances are too high on your revolving accounts, that means you have high balances on one or more of your credit cards. And if you pay down those balances, you likely could see your credit scores go up. Or if it's related to late payments, maybe you can dispute that information and get it removed. If you can't, then you look at another factor and see what you can do. So you're really focused on, hey, what do I have control over, and what things are just the way they are, and I just need to work on my credit. And I do include this I have a free e-guide that goes into business and personal credit, and I'll be happy to give a link to that in your show notes or however we want to distribute that. So anybody
you can tell us right now, how do they get there?
Okay, that free e-guide, I'm trying to think if it's online right now. Well, I'll tell you what, you can always email me,
okay.
Gerri, Gerri at nav.com, and just say you want the credit e-guide, and I'll be happy to share it with you. In addition, though, I'll add, we work with a lot of SBDCs around the country, and we're a huge, huge fan of what small business development centers do, and many of them are distributing our information to their clients.
And
so
we do as well.
You do? Okay.
Oh,
great.
yeah, we do. Yeah. So, hey, Gerri, we're getting ready to go to break real quick, so let's pick that up on the backside when we get back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll be right back after these messages here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM, Channel 141 HUR Voices.
This is HUR Voices on SiriusXM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton.
You're listening to the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM Channel 141. And we have Gerri Dietweiler she's working with nav.com. And Gerri, before the break, we were talking about how they can get that information from you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that the credit e-guide or that was something else?
Yes. So the Build Credit e-guide, the Build Business Credit e-guide is at nav.com/podcast. And then if you want the personal credit version that includes personal credit tips, if that's something as an entrepreneur that you're dealing with, email me at Gerri, Gerri at nav.com, or contact your small business development center, because many of them are distributing a variety of our free e-guides to their clients, and they can also help you sit down and think about a game plan for getting the financing that you need.
That's right.
Yeah. I had a great credit score and went out to get financing for my small business. And I didn't have as hard of a time as some people, but it's, very challenging to go out as a startup and get funding. What do you recommend to our listeners who are out there and they are starting up and they're bootstrapping it, but they have great or good credit or great credit and they'd like to see about financing? Should they come to nav.com and get some help there?
Yeah, that's our goal at NAV. So ultimately showing you your credit information we think that's great for transparency, but ultimately the goal is to use that to get financing. So our platform we work with over 100 different financing sources around the country, and when you come in, you'll access your personal credit report from Experian for free. You'll get your business credit reports, and we know something about your business, how long you've been in business, etc. If you choose to link your bank account, which is read-only, just so we can see your revenues, we can actually use that information to help match you to lenders, but that's your choice. But then we use all that data to try to show you your best financing options. And we always rank the financing options we show you based on what we call our internal bestness score, like the loans that are best for the borrower, not the ones that are best for NAV.
That's great.
If that makes sense.
That is great. It's like you're a matchmaker, a loan matchmaker.
That makes a lot of sense because a lot of people go to one bank and they put all eggs in one basket,
Right.
and it may not work out well for them.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
But
Yeah,
you
and
actually
even with
match them based on their scores, and you look at a number of things and come up with, a number of lenders that will work for them, for the small business owner, right?
Yes, exactly. So, and the other thing you just mentioned, Carl, that I agree with is that, you think, oh, my bank is the place to go. But if you're a young business, most banks don't want to lend to startups, right?
That's
so you
right.
have to cast a little bit wider net. And even SBA loans, which are great loans, you could get turned down at one financial institution, and then you could get approved for an SBA loan somewhere else. But most borrowers don't realize that. They think it's the SBA that's turning them down when it's
When it's not, yeah.
And it could have nothing to do with, it could just be that that particular lender isn't lending into your, type of business right now, or they've made enough loans for this year and they're not making any more, and it has nothing to do with your qualifications. It's just you're not a fit for them, for their financial institution. So you want to try to, make sure that you're casting a wide net, but at the same time that you're lender ready. So you know your personal credit scores, you know your business credit scores, and one thing I can't emphasize enough, especially for young businesses, is that you have a business bank account. We did a survey at NAB and found out about 1 in 5 small business owners don't even have a business bank account. Well, if they want to see your business revenues, you're not going to want to turn over your personal
That's
bank
right.
account to the lender.
I wonder why they wouldn't have a business bank account, though. I mean,
Well, for many reasons. I mean, part of it is just that they don't know.
wow. Okay.
Or they figure, hey, well, I'm in business, but I pay my mortgage out of this money and da-da-da.
Okay.
So they use it as one account.
Well,
and
that's not good.
No, yeah. We say if you're in business, you have to compartmentalize your affairs.
Yes.
Those that are personal are personal. Those that are business are business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Gerri, let's talk about what can you do if you do find a mistake on your credit, either personal or business.
Yeah.
on
1,
your credit
2, or
report.
more mistakes. Yeah.
I had 8
on the
pages of
personal
madness.
side, the good news is we have a really strong federal law, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and that gives you the right to file a dispute with the credit bureau, and they have to investigate and get back to you within 30 days with the results. They tend to make it very easy to do that online. If it's a really serious mistake, sometimes I recommend you actually send a letter, just because it can be a better approach to have that documentation. But either way, you dispute it with them, and they will investigate, and they will get back to you within 30 days. And most credit bureaus take about 2 weeks to respond to that dispute. On the business side, as I mentioned earlier, there's no federal law at all. So you kind of have to figure out what their procedures are. Some will let you dispute online. Some of them you have to actually mail in a dispute. And we certainly guide our customers through that process if they're checking their credit through one of the bureaus that we show them credit reports for.
There's no federal law that covers business credit reporting? Is that what you're saying?
There's no federal and no state laws that cover business credit reporting.
That's
so it's
unbelievable. Okay, where are all the lobbyists? They should be lobbying. Where the chambers of commerce should be lobbying for laws like that.
Well, I can tell you that NAB we did testify in favor of the first Truth in Lending Act for small business in California recently. We think it's a good thing for business owners to understand what their loans cost, because right now there's no requirement that they tell you an interest rate or an annual percentage rate.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. I went through that.
Wait a minute. What do you mean they can't or don't tell you or have to tell you?
They were very vague about what they were charging me.
You mean this is for a business loan?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, let me not do business with you.
Exactly.
But yeah, they were very vague.
You know what? I also have another question, Gerri. I heard there's some kind of a dispute form that you can complete to have certain things taken off your credit report if you complete this dispute form and send it in. Is that correct?
Are you talking about for consumer or?
I think it is. I don't know if it's business or consumer, but have you heard of it either way?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you identify yourself and identify the mistake to the credit bureau on the personal side, they have to investigate. It's just required by law. I think people do get sometimes, if they go online and they're trying to do their own credit repair, they get sort of misled about credit repair. And the fact is, it's really just a dispute process. Even if you hire a credit repair company, they're pretty much just disputing negative information in the hope that it comes off. So you don't have to cite certain statutes of, you know,
okay.
So you're paying for something that you can do yourself.
It is something you can do
It's
yourself.
just a form. It's some sort of form, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Well,
I mean,
let me tell you what I did with 8 pages of madness. I wrote all of the credit bureaus.
Okay.
And I submitted a Social Security card and a birth certificate.
Okay.
To show that I was too young to have these bankruptcies on my credit report, right?
That's right. This was in the 80s, yeah.
In the 80s, right? And you know what they told me?
What?
Go fish. We ain't changing nothing.
Oh, wow.
So I took that letter and sent that I got from them, individual letters.
Yes.
Put the whole package together and sent it to the Maryland Attorney General.
Yes.
They gave them 30 days to prove it was mine.
Yeah. And they
Guess
couldn't.
what?
They couldn't prove it.
I got back a 1-page with about 8 things on it that were all mine. I-1s or R1s.
R1s. Okay, that means they removed it.
Yeah, they removed everything that didn't belong to me.
Right, yeah, yeah. So bottom line, you did it yourself.
Had to do it myself.
Yeah, wow.
So we got 2 minutes left. What about, and we're in this cybersecurity age right now, what about business credit fraud or identity theft? How do people protect their businesses?
You know, even if you're not thinking about financing as a business owner, I recommend you check your business credit. There was a story on NBC News about an attorney. He was a victim of business and personal identity theft at the same time.
Wow.
He had to shut down his practice for 30 days. He's a lawyer.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
There's no requirement that they freeze or even put a fraud alert on a business credit report. So if you're a business owner, at least check and monitor your business credits. If you see something weird pop up, you can investigate and find out if someone's trying to steal your business's identity, which crooks do these days.
All day long.
Wow.
So real quick, how can NAV help a small business get money? We got 1 minute.
Yep, they're gonna sign up for a free NAV account, no credit card required.
NAV.com.
Yep, NAV.com. Go to /podcast, and you'll get the guide. And then we'll show them how to build business credit, and we'll immediately show them matches to financing options from over 100 different financing sources around the country to help them understand what they qualify for. And then our ultimate goal is to help them become better qualified so they can get better financing in the future.
Oh,
so, Gerri, thank you so much, because right now we have given everyone the tools to get some money.
That's right. And to help improve their credit scores. So thank
go
you.
to nav.com/podcast to get those important tools you need to get some money to succeed.
nav.com/podcast, right?
Yes. And there is a coupon code there, podcast, if you want to try our premium paid account for free for a month. You can check that out as well. So just use the word podcast as your coupon code. But I'm going to say I really appreciate what you guys are doing to educate small business owners. I love SBDCs as well. So if you're not working with yours, go.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Gerri.
you.
Great having
so
you
much.
on.
I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these messages here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM Channel 141.
This is HUR Voices on SiriusXM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton.
And welcome back to the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM Channel 141 HUR Voices, where we have the legendary actor and comedian Bill Bellamy on the show, on the Small Business Report. Welcome, Bill.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is so impromptu, and I love when life is just like live and things are going down. I appreciate you, Sharrarne, for reaching out and saying, Bill, come on the Small Business Report.
That's right.
Yeah, I was in the gym this morning.
We talk about business and everything.
Right, that's right, because you are a business. You're a brand, right?
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. 25, 26 years of going on to this thing.
Oh, wow.
26 years.
Yeah.
Man,
Gosh.
that's
being
phenomenal.
in the entertainment business, it's a blessing to have a brand that has been consistent, that people know, they're familiar with it. They know when they hear my name that they smile and they're going to have a good time, and that's what I've worked at. I want to make sure people have a good time.
That's right.
Well, before we get too deep in the interview, I want to ask you, where is the fountain of youth?
Right.
Because I seen you, brother, and yo, man, you have not aged a day.
No,
so
not
I
at all.
need some of that tea or water that you drinking.
Yeah, we got that good tea. It ain't nothing but some good sweet tea.
Some old school, good old sweet tea.
Yeah, old school sweet tea.
Yep.
With a lemon in it.
There you go.
You do
That's
look great, Bill.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He looks great. Wonderful, man. I mean, 26
Thank
years
you,
in the
man.
business. Wow.
Bill, I was in the gym this morning and saw you on
Right.
Fox 5, and our second guest couldn't make it. I said, let me text Bill. You know, you usually hear from me once a year or twice a year when you come into D.C. I'll text you and say, hey, what's up? And so I said, let me see if he will come on. And you answered right away. You have always been a down-to-earth person. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why so many people love you, because, you've never said, well, I'm a star. You have always shown that you're still the same Bill Bellamy from Rutgers way back in the day.
Well, yeah, that was my other question.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Bill?
I always
Now,
I
hey,
was just
Bill.
going to say that it's just being authentic is really the recipe, because, when you are your true self and people feel that resonates, you know what I'm saying? Where it feels like it's real, it feels like this. So I feel like people treat me like I'm their favorite cousin.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how you act. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that ain't nothing but Bill. He's so stupid.
Yeah.
So, but I got one for you though, Bill. You were studying economics at Rutgers, and then you go on Def Comedy Jam. What was that transition like?
Yeah.
Economics to comedy.
Well, I didn't know I could be a comedian, honestly. Sharrarne would tell you I was just messing with it in college a little bit. It wasn't that serious. I was kind of like hosting a talent show, or
you hosted you hosted the Queen of Rutgers pageant. I was in it. I was first runner up, and you had us rolling in the floor.
Yeah,
way back in the 80s.
And I was hosting stuff, playing around, and then what happened was I ended up loving making people laugh. I was like, yo, this is so much fun, and I didn't know that I could take it this far. I just said I must keep trying it, because it was something that I truly liked, and then the like turned to love. And once I fell in love with it, I started getting really good at it. And next thing you know, I'm auditioning for Def Comedy Jam a couple of years out of college. And now I'm on TV, and everybody's like, what?
That's right.
You're right. Yeah, we looked up, and there you were.
At the cafeteria.
Yeah, you were just at Tillett Hall. Remember Tillett Hall?
Tillett Hall 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
That's how it happened, though.
Yeah.
Being in the right place at the right time, I think also has a lot to do with timing is everything. And then really, just being ready for your opportunity. I think that's pretty much really what makes it work, is you being ready for your opportunity and taking advantage of the moment,
Yeah, yeah. What do you think has enabled you to stay so successful for such a long time in the entertainment industry? It's a tough business, but you've been able to maintain your success.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is being able to evolve and to stay relevant and to, sort of adjust to the new game. You know what I'm saying? Where I started, it was being on cable was the biggest thing you could be on, being on HBO, being on, Showtime, being on, television.
MTV.
Now you got to do all that and be on social media.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, you got to stay relevant.
Social media has become like a job.
It is a job, yeah.
Keeping people in your life, keeping yourself current. You know what I'm saying? I came here to D.C. and I hadn't even done radio yet. I had not been able to be on TV or anything, and my shows were sold out already. I had four out of 5 shows sold out before I even got here, and that was from social media.
Yeah.
That could have. I don't know if that could have happened 10 years ago.
Right.
No.
Yeah, or even 5 years ago
because,
sometimes.
Because I can tell people I'm coming to DC 2 weeks in advance. Like I could say, hey, everybody, what's up? Bill Bellamy is in your city, and the link is there, and people can buy their tickets way in advance now.
Right,
that never was. When I first started in the game, we had to pass out flyers.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you like it the way it is now? I always say technology is both a blessing and a curse, but yeah, it helps you with your brand.
It's helpful. It's just consuming, though.
Yeah, it is all consuming.
I still am very meticulous about how much I allow my privacy to be exposed. Because it's like if people know every single thing about you, then they're gonna lose sort of the curiosity factor. So you have to kind of balance, your privacy and your public life, I think, to make it work.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
A little bit of the old school stuff. Yeah, you can't give it all up for free.
That's right.
That's right.
Why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? My mother used to say.
Yeah. I want people to know when they see me, they done seen somebody.
Right. That's right.
That's right. So I got a
Bill
question.
Bellamy at Dairy Queen.
But I got a question for you, Bill. So, you've been in this business 26 years and you've been raising a family as well. How is that whole fatherhood thing working out and
the work-life balance?
The work-life balance and the Hollywood, your kids growing up in Hollywood.
It's very difficult, actually, because you want your kids to have a natural childhood. You want them to have, the morals and sort of the realism that you had coming up. I grew up back on the East Coast, so, I grew up way different than my kids. I feel like my kids grew up in a privileged, environment.
I think all of our children, we give them they have a sense of entitlement, but I think some of it is our own fault because we give them so much as opposed to our parents made us earn everything.
You know that.
Right. So I have to, for me, I have to blend it with my kids. Even though if I can give it to them, I make them earn it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't just keep giving them stuff and then it has no value to them.
Right.
So that part I keep in the game. But then also, too, they're exposed to so much. So you always you just have to explain. You have to explain that there's going to be people that have more than us, and we have more than a lot of people. So, but there's levels to it. It's about appreciating your level and getting to the level that you want to take the game. Like I tell my kids, I got you here. What are you going to do for your children?
Right. Yeah.
What are you going to do for your kids? What are you going to do to make your future for your family better than what I'm doing for you? Like let's let this have a legacy to it, not like, oh, my dad got me here and I can sit down. No, we ain't sitting down.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's right. That's right.
We got stuff to prove. My kids know we got stuff to prove out here. We got, if we fall, we get up. If we stumble, we find a way to find a correct way to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And that's the East Coast swag I put in my children. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good thing.
Well, let our audience know where you came from.
That's right.
Yeah, Brick City, Newark, New Jersey, born and raised, you know what I'm saying?
That's
where,
right.
I came from a rough neighborhood, you know what I mean? You had to be nice with your hands, you had to be able to get out of some stuff. You had to be able to, figure out how to maneuver in these streets. I was 11 years old, 12 years old. I had a key.
You had a key, to get in,
I knew how to take care of myself at an early age.
Right.
That's
I knew
right.
how to get on the bus, the public bus system at 11 years old, go catch the bus to school.
That makes you stronger, though. That makes
you,
you become more self-sufficient and independent. But listen, Bill, we've got to go to commercial. But before we do, tell everybody, where can they go to get in contact with you? Where's your social media, the next show,
Oh, okay. Well, my social media is at Bill Bellamy, since everyone loves social media. Instagram is at Bill Bellamy. On my Facebook page, I want everybody to go to Bill Bellamy, VIP as in Victor, I as in Ivan, P as in people, and that's my fan page. And I done ran out on that regular page, so I gotta have it.
Okay, all
So you
right.
got to go to my fan page, and I have so many videos and funny things and, family stuff. I try to, give you sort of a really snapshot of my whole life, not just, me being an entertainer. You get a chance to see a little bit of everything, and I think that's important.
That is important. Well, stick with us. We will be right back after these messages here on the Small Business Report on HUR Voices, SiriusXM Channel 141.
This is HUR Voices on SiriusXM Radio Channel 141 with your hosts Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton.
And we're back here on the Small Business Report on SiriusXM Channel 141 with the legendary actor and comedian Bill Bellamy. Bill, you were giving us some great information about what it's like to be a comedian. If you had to, talk to a comedian or give them advice on what it takes to be a comedian and to obtain the kind of success that you've had, what would you say? We've actually had a comedian or two on the show before. What would you tell them?
Mm-hmm. I think that for a comic now that's coming up, one of the things that is an advantage is social media, where you can be creative. You got these great phones. You can cut a video together, and you can establish your brand of humor. You can put videos up that are hilarious, and you can tag people, and you can, I think that is a really wonderful opportunity for somebody who's creative. You don't have to sit around and go, oh, when is somebody going to spot me?
Right.
Oh, yeah, you put yourself on enough videos and stuff on that phone. Somebody going to see you.
Right, that's right.
And now they can get access to you. Like I was telling somebody this, I think the way HBO was big for my generation, social media is big for these new comics that's coming up.
Right, yeah,
Now,
they have to have it.
The difference is we're more trained. We came from an era of trained comics. These guys are funny on these phones. Now they got to learn backwards. Like, you could be funny on the phone, and then you got to, if somebody book you to do stand-up, you might not know how to do stand-up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a talent.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
So you got to learn backwards. You might be funny on your phone, but you better get your behind on that stage and practice.
Right. Yeah.
So, I love what you're saying, but your first time on stage, what was it like?
On like in once you got to LA.
One of the big stages. What was
Def
it like?
Comedy Jam.
When I got on the big stages, I was prepared for that. I wasn't prepared when I was doing the smaller stages, when nobody knew who I was yet, and I didn't have my jokes together yet, and I was up there stumbling. Like, I bombed a couple of times. And let me tell you, you need to bomb a couple of times. That really lets you know what it is.
Right.
Everybody think you're going to have a good show. No, you're going to have some bad shows. You sit in the car for a few minutes.
That's right.
You feel crazy about yourself. Like, oh, nobody like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who are some of the actors and
It makes
comedians?
you have character, though.
It does. It builds your
does.
character, yeah. And it keeps you humble, too,
And you grow that thick skin.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Who are some of the actors and comedians, especially comedians, that you look up to, Bill?
Well, for me, my the guys that inspired me, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby, Robin Williams, Paul Mooney, Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence. There's a lot of guys that I think are absolutely bananas funny. Like, oh my God, like Richard Pryor. If I could only pick one, it would be Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And listen to his albums. My mom was like, boy, don't play that loud. There's a lot of cussing on this thing.
Yeah, but he was funny.
I learned how to tell stories that were really funny from Richard Pryor. Like, Richard Pryor told one. I never forget, Richard Pryor told this one story about if Dracula was in the hood. And the way he told that story, because Dracula was in the hood looking through windows and stuff.
Did you crack up?
And he was like, Mudbone was like, man, what kind of, I can't even say it on the radio.
Yeah.
He said, fuck what? He said, you better fuck your behind away from here.
He wasn't afraid of Dracula. Not in the hood, right?
Right. Like Dracula, because Richard Pryor had this one character that I love called Mudbone.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted. They say, do Mudbone, do Mudbone. And whenever he did Mudbone, it was absolutely crazy because Mudbone was like this bum that was this crazy, like he was this real character that wasn't afraid of anything. He was just honest.
Right.
And whenever he did Mudbone, people was on the
Floor. Yeah.
And when Mudbone met Dracula, it was, oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
You
Yeah.
can only imagine what Mudbone said to Dracula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You know what, Bill? You could actually say it on Sirius, but we won't. This is a clean
this is
show.
like a
But we won't. Yeah,
business
yeah.
family
Right,
show.
right,
you know?
right. But if it was another show,
It's
he
a
could say it.
family show.
Right. Yeah.
You done
You
those
wanna hear it,
before,
go on
so.
YouTube. and
Right,
look
I'm
at
going to
Mudbone, put
YouTube.
in Mudbone Dracula.
Oh yeah,
I will.
Yeah, when I leave here, that's what I'm going to be doing because I need to laugh today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, what would you tell a 26-year-old
Bill Bellamy.
Bill Bellamy?
Yeah.
What to look out for in this industry, and where your success is really going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, if I had to talk back to myself, I would say this is a marathon. Never stop believing in yourself. You're going to get there, and stay authentically you.
Okay. And you've done that. You've done that, Bill.
I've done that.
Yeah.
because
Not a lot of people can say that.
the thing about it is you have to be in a position to say no.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Say no to what?
Yeah, you have to be in a position to tell people no, that you're not going to do that, or
Okay.
you're not going to take those kind of roles, or you're not, because you can do it all, but there's a price to pay for certain things that you can't fix once you do it.
And
That's
all
right.
money isn't good money. You're
That's
right.
right. Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
what he's
All money,
saying.
you can't chase the money. The money, if you chase the money, then you're gonna do everything.
That's true.
You got to chase the things that move you, that make you feel good about yourself, or you representing something. Like, I always feel like I'm representing every black male on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love
Like,
it.
I always feel like my goal is to inspire every black man that's moving. So if you see me, I'm you. I can't do nothing that's going to tarnish the legacy of a black man in this world. Like, that's me. Like, I always wanted to represent dudes that look like me, that came from places like me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you,
You know what I'm
brother,
saying?
you are doing it well.
Yes,
You are
definitely.
doing it
Yeah.
absolutely well. I mean, you smashing the home run,
Mm-hmm.
scoring the touchdown. You
We're
are doing it all.
Yeah, we're so proud of you. What's been your greatest success, Bill, would you say?
I don't know. I mean, I would say that's a multi-layered question, but raising my family has got to be at the top of that.
Definitely.
But my career is doing things that have integrity, doing things that have resonance. I just finished this Madam C.J. Walker project
Yes.
with Octavia Spencer.
Wow.
Yes.
That project is going to have people looking at me like in a whole
Different
nother
light.
world.
Yes. Yes. It
Because
sounds like a
it's
serious
not-
role.
It's a serious role. It's a early 1900 period piece. It's absolutely an actor's sort of thing. Like, if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would be in a scene with Octavia Spencer,
Right.
who just won her own Oscar, I'd be like, man, you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But God will do it.
Well,
That's for
look at-
sure.
Look at God. Won't
Yes,
he do it?
won't
That's
he
right.
do it?
Won't he do it?
Yep. We only have 2 minutes
I'm
left.
blessed.
Go ahead, Bill. What were you going to say? You're blessed,
So I'm
definitely.
just saying, like, I'm blessed. I'm very thankful. And I have so many more good years in me to give you guys quality product, you know what I'm saying? So that's my goal, to keep you laughing, keep you inspired, and, achieving black excellence,
Yeah. Tell us again where our listeners can find you, your social media handles.
Yes. Everybody loves Facebook. So on Facebook, my fan page is facebook.com/Bill Bellamy, VIP. And on Twitter, it's @Bill Bellamy as well. And on Instagram, it's @Bill Bellamy.
Wow, we
All
can't
right.
thank you enough,
We
Bill.
can't
Thank you for
enough.
answering my text. You always do.
I know.
No matter how
You
much
know,
of a
you always
superstar you
know.
are,
And
you do.
You are doing it all, brother, and we
Yes.
are so proud of you.
We really
and
are.
All black men should be proud of you
That's
the way
right.
you handle your business.
That's
man.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
man. And y'all keep winning, and I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, Bill.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, folks, that's it for now. This is the Small Business Report here on SiriusXM Channel 141.
Yeah, and you can hear this in all of our shows on WHUR Voices, SiriusXM Channel 141 every Thursday at 12 noon, Fridays at 9 a.m., Sundays at 11 a.m., and Mondays at 9 a.m. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and visit our Instagram page and follow us on Twitter at SMBizReport. Thanks again for tuning in.
This has been Carl Brown and Sharrarne Morton giving you all the tools you need to succeed on the Small Business Report. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in next week at WHUR Voices on SiriusXM Channel 141. Please don't forget to like us on Facebook. And for more tips on starting, growing, and financing your business, visit us at thesmallbusinessreport.biz.